Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loimacito is the best.
Okay, this is a follow-up video of mine to the previous one that I put yesterday. This Kangana run out. Hope I got her name right. Okay. Now that one I posted more in a humorous way, but looking at the comments in my group, I decided to make a more serious video with regards to the Twitter ban of Kangana Ranaut. I also spoke to a couple of BJP politicians, not couple, you could say two, okay, two of them. I didn't speak to many, and they are high-ranking officials. And I'll tell you what they said also. Now, see, let's get one thing out of the way, okay? Now, Kangana, she has strong views. She has strong views, which is totally acceptable. I have strong views, you have strong views, we all have strong views. Now, the question is, how do you communicate these strong views? How do you say what you have to say in a way that cannot be taken out of context? Because in today's day and age, you can say, you can even say a joke, and it can be taken in so many ways, to a point where you can lose your career, you can lose, a person can lose their lives. For example, this UFC fighter, his name is Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya from New Zealand. He's a young boy, he's in his 20s, and he's cleaning his division. He's an MMA fighter, mixed martial arts. Now this guy, he had got, because he won the world championship, he got multiple sponsors, big sponsors, paying him millions of dollars. Okay, he was a refugee and poor from Africa, and now he stays in New Zealand, and now he has achieved legendary status. He's a young boy. So among the many sponsorships he had, I think it was Mercedes or BMW, I'm not too sure, I think Mercedes. So big international brands. So what he did was, many people call him out because he's a champion. Say, hey, I want to fight you, I'm going to destroy you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. People say that because it's a fighting game. So one of the guys who called him out and challenged him, I'm going to fight with you, I'm going to destroy you or whatever, he responded back by saying, I'll get you raped. Okay, something like enjoy being raped, or I'm going to rape you, or something like that. Now, immediately after he put that post, now imagine, this is between two grown-up men. They're fighting, verbally, okay, because they want to win the championship, money, and so no sooner did he put the word rape, you'll enjoy rape or something like that, Mercedes-Benz issued a statement, I'm sorry that these are not in line with our views. We have discontinued the partnership with Israel. And within one tweet, he lost millions of dollars. Okay. Now let's take another example. Donald Trump. Donald Trump in front of Capitol Hill, what he said is, it's a war, or we will fight, we will never give up. Now, he must have, I can assure you one thing, he didn't plan, or he didn't want people to go and destroy things. That much I can assure you. I've been following Donald Trump since I was almost like 20 years old. I've been a fan of his. The man may be crazy, the man may be selfish, the man may play with loopholes, he'll bullshit, he'll bluff. He's not a violent human being. He's not a person who promotes violence. Absolutely not. I have followed him for all these years. At the age of 70, you think he wants people to destroy and kill? Why suddenly his switch is flipped? When he was young, he didn't do that. So because he said those words, war, we'll fight, and this and that, it was taken literally. And these guys stormed the Capitol Hill and destroyed it. Okay, they made problem for themselves. Fine. Now Kangana, and imagine the most powerful person in the world, for the most powerful country, so-called powerful country, with the most powerful position, he got banned from Twitter. So now then what is Kangana? Kangana is just an actress who has like 3 million followers on Twitter. Okay, now I'm not trying to discredit her. What she has achieved is something maybe you and I will never achieve. So kudos to her. I've not seen her movies. I'm not trying to show you, oh, I'm better than you. I've not seen her movie. I've just not seen her movies. Even if I have, I don't even recollect, because I hardly watch Hindi movies. The latest movie I saw was some White Tiger or something like that, and Ludo, which I thought were amazing. I want to see The Lunch Box. What is that? Irfan Ali or something. Lunchbox. So I like to see these classic movies, or Amir Khan's movies, which are historical in nature or creative, like Pi and all that. Okay, so this female Kangana Ranaut, see, she's patriotic and all that, but the thing is, she has been given multiple warnings on Twitter, multiple times. Now, because she is successful and because she is hot-headed and because she's, when you enjoy success, you're obviously not only confident, you're overconfident. It will happen to anyone. She's young. She's not in her 40s or anything. She's still young, okay? I don't know her age. Maybe she's in her 30s or whatever. And see, I admire the fact that she has taken on big guns like Karan Johar. She has spoken on the Bollywood industry. She was, calling out the murder of that actor. What is his name? Sushant or something? That guy who I believe was killed, but they say it's suicide. So she's a brave woman. She is truly a brave woman who is risking many things. However, the problem is when you start, when you start getting overconfident and impulsive, it's a very dangerous combination. Being overly confident, being, I'm unstoppable. Like, for example, this guy, what's his name? The journalist, not journalist or whatever, hype machine. What's his name? Arvind Goswami. I hope I got his name right. That guy who always shouts and screams. See, individually, these guys are nice people, but they put on a persona where they give the public what they want. They're like these trained actors. Like, for example, Salman Khan shows he's a buff bodybuilder and he's a defender of truth. In real life, maybe something else. Like Dan Bilzerian. He's like to show he's a ladies' man. He likes to fight with guns and all that. But real life, they may not be like that. Like, it's like the WWE. They put on a persona like Undertaker, dead man walking, and this other guy is the evil guy. And so people take on these roles. Now, with regards to Kangana, she gave her opinion, but it was not put in a proper way. The problem with Twitter, you can tweet something that can be taken out of context. Now, in Kangana's case, she has had multiple violations. Okay, not once, many times. She even called the farmers a cancer. See, when you start doing such stuff, you call people, they are a cancer, they should die. Or see, if normal people like us, we can say, because we hardly have a following, but we should be careful when we go on a public platform. One-to-one, when we say, it's fine. But when you are going on a public platform, and that too, you're a public figure, you have to be very responsible. You can't mess around like this, man. You really cannot. Now, do I believe Kangana it sounds like run out. Do I feel Kangana is a bad person? No, she is not. You see, you'll be surprised if I tell you this. Rahul Gandhi is not a bad person. That Mamata Banerjee is not a bad person. Modi is not a bad person. But they are not perfect. But to imply that any one of them want someone to die, want someone killed, want someone raped. That is obnoxious. See, I'll give you a small example. In my group, there's one guy, I don't want to give out his name. I've known him for years. Ever since he went to India, he has explicitly shown his support for BJP, which I'm okay with. So he started putting comments like Mamata Banerjee's team, Mamata Banerjee's party raped young girls, lynched people, killed people, and he showed some graphic photographs of a mother in blood, and her son was killed and she was beaten or something like that. Okay. Now I'll tell you, this is the part where it gets stupid. See, you and me, let's go out to ground level. Would you want to kill someone? You never want to kill someone. Would you want to hurt someone? No. Yeah, you like to argue, yes. And if you argue like crazy and you get angry, you might get into a fist fight and all that. But you're not going to take a knife and stab or permanently injure someone. We are not those kind of people. Yes, there are mad people like this. So just as you and I don't want to do this, you seriously think Mamata Banerjee or Modi or whomsoever, Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal or something, whatever his name is, you think these politicians want someone dead? No, man, don't be crazy. This is irresponsible assumptions. Nobody wants anyone dead. But keep this in mind. There are a lot of troublemakers, a lot of deranged individuals who, on the guise of a movement, an idea, an ideology, a religion, would choose to do harm. See, like for example, Black Lives Matter. I understand what is the reason they come out with this, and I agree with some of the things they say. Racism exists. Yes, I agree. Racism does exist. They say that blacks are treated unfairly. Not in all cases, but I believe in some cases, yes. But looting and murder and destroying public property, that is not Black Lives Matter. Now, there are two sides to this. There are some people who actually part of Black Lives Matter who believe in doing this. Then there is another side where they use Black Lives Matter, a movement, as an excuse to loot and kill. Like they'll go with the crowd, and the minute they get an opportunity to break a window and steal a TV or steal a phone, they'll do that. Okay? Which has nothing got to do with Black Lives. And then the third example is there are people who don't believe in Black Lives Matter but will put on a mask, join Black Lives Matter to destroy the name of that movement. Now this, you can take this blueprint, whether it's for Congress, whether it's for BJP, whether it's for anything, and people tend to do that. See, someone can take, let's say for example, they can take your name and say, yeah, I believe whatever your name is, I believe him, and kill someone. Now, if the police come, they will come and arrest you, because they'll say, oh, you must have told this guy to do it. But in all the cases, it's not the reality. But when it comes to sending out a tweet or Facebook post, there you can be held accountable. Like see this New Zealand killer who killed these Muslim people. What did he say? He got inspired by Nelson Mandela. Now everyone knows that is bullshit. Not what he said, but rather Nelson Mandela has inspired anyone to kill anyone. In fact, there are people who, when they kill, they say, okay, because of Marvel comics or because of video games, which is all bullshit. You know, when you play a game, see, I play shooting games. I play these killing games and all that. Sometimes I even go visit augurish sites. It's where they show blood and gore and people mutilated. It's something like, oh my goodness. I've seen some really horrific sites. But do you think I'm like that? You might say, oh, Loy, how do we know? Anyway, I can't prove it to you. But I can assure you, I'm not like that. I have a wife, I have a baby. See, I'll give a simple example. You see these tattoos on my face, and if you actually look in Hollywood movies, the guys with tattoos are normally the gangsters, the bad guys. They are drug addicts, they are evil, they are unstable people. Now, Do I deny that? Do I say that no, tattooed people are not like that? Yes, there are some who are like that. There are many tattooed people who are unstable. There are many people who tattoo who have low self-esteem. I myself have told you, I still maybe have low self-esteem. I like attention. That's why I did it. A normal person who's fulfilled will not want to do this because it's pain. It's a permanent life decision. You have to ostracize yourself from what people consider a norm. But that doesn't mean everyone who does it is doing it just for a bad purpose. Like, there are many people who are in jail who tattoo themselves, who are murderers, killers. Okay, does that mean all people without a tattoo, who wear a suit and tie, who have a clean face, they're all normal people? How many pedophiles don't have a single tattoo? How many murderers don't have a single tattoo? How many rapists? How many people who have committed crimes against humanity, genocide, killed millions of people, they don't have a single tattoo. In fact, they follow religion. So now, what do? Do we say that, oh, flip the switch, all tattooed people are nice? See, these generic statements, we have to be careful how we use it and what we use it for. Yes, in some religions, their verses or whatever they say can be taken, unless it is explained properly, there is no way of interpreting. And the worst problem with religions is there is no single authority. Like, for example, Islam. There's no one single person whom everyone agrees with. Everyone has their own definition or translation of a verse. Classic example, jihad. Jihad can be taken in so many translations. Let's say, for example, any verse which is a parable, which is like a proverb, which is like, you should strike it down and move forward, for example, and give glory to God. Strike it down and give glory to God. So maybe the strike it down was strike an animal or a snake or an animal to eat, and give glory to God. It can mean that. Maybe the strike it down is strike your fears down. But some people will say, oh, strike a human being and kill them. So it can be taken out of context, man. This is the problem with the human beings. They like to simply conjure up nonsense and believe whatever they want to believe. That is why you have cryptocurrencies. Some people believe, oh, it's going to reach 1 billion per coin. Some people, like me, I believe cryptocurrency is all hype. There are people who believe, oh, Tesla, Elon Musk is going to create a habitat on Mars, where people like me believe, you first do it in the desert and show me on Earth where there's oxygen, then go to Mars, which takes around 2 months to fly. I mean, you forget a screwdriver, how the fuck are you going to go back? Back to Earth to, oh, we forgot the screwdriver. Anyway, see, the bottom line is, Kangana Ranaut is not a bad person, but she acted immaturely, okay? She acted out of impulse. Now I'll tell you what this BJP, these guys said. You'll not believe. They actually said what she tweeted was wrong. They said what she tweeted was wrong. It was not the right thing to say. But her heart is in the right place. She's a good person. She's a patriot. But what she did there was wrong. See, and I've told you time in and again, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, these don't belong to us. We are using a privilege. We have been privileged. We've been given a privilege. You have to use it responsibly. You cannot use it like an idiot and then complain, oh, they have banned me. Oh, this is unfair. This is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is, or freedom of expression is, you say something, but you should be held accountable for it. You should be held responsible for it. Promoting violence, promoting hate, promoting, okay, even if you promote hate, let's say you promote hate, but inciting violence, calling for someone to be hurt or harmed or, no, I'm sorry. And insulting other people's mother, father, brother, sister. Some people say, oh, that is also freedom of speech. So that's why they call my wife and baby names. Fine, if you do that, then there's a price to pay. Show it with your real account and let society know who you are. Then that's freedom of speech and expression. Not hiding behind fake accounts and talking all big. That's why the people who call me out and say, oh, you're a fake, you're a fraud, you're a this, you're a that. Why are you hiding? You are telling me, you are telling the world, I'm a scam, I'm a fraud. But then why are you hiding? Why did you just create an account yesterday anonymously and claiming that? Show your real face, show your real identity, say expose. This is my real profile, this is who I am, this is where I work, this is where I stay, this is my number, everything. You can verify. I am a verified person. And I'm telling you, law is fine. But hiding behind a fake account, who knows who you are? You can be a student, you can be jobless, you can be a vindictive person. Maybe you are insecure, maybe you have some mental issues. Maybe you're just doing it for thrill, for fun. See, that is why I've showed you my whole life. I've showed you my number, my identity, my wife, my kid, where I stay. I don't pretend to be who I'm not. Anyway, that's totally out of the... So, bottom line, what I'm trying to tell you through this video is, Kangana Ranaut is not a bad person. Mamata Banerjee, Modi, none of them want violence. None of them want bad things to happen to anyone. None of them promote rape. The problem with our Indians, there's so much, it happens in other countries, but the problem with our Indians is there's so much of nonsense. It's like they don't know that they can agree to disagree, but simply they'll cherry pick some rumor or some JPEG image that is photoshopped or some bullshit and say, see, he raped her, they raped them, Modi's people raped this one, Mamata's people killed this one. Oh, these Naxalites, this communist, these Keralites, this Maharashtrians, this Biharis, this Khalistan, name calling and categorizing the entire religion, entire group of people into one box. That is as intelligent as some people can get. And then the worst one is the small kids, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, oh, fuck you, you're Modi killers and you're... In real life, they'll not do that. It's like a puppy dog. A small puppy dog, trying to be ferocious with no teeth. Anyway, this is what I wanted to tell you. In conclusion, I'll just say that Kangana was given multiple warnings. She didn't heed it. She used her position irresponsibly. I think she should have had a PR team to filter her thoughts and put it in a nice way. And, you cannot be greater than the system. See, right now Kangana is having hit movies and fame and money. One day it'll run out. Like run out. One day it will all vanish. No pun intended there, run out. It'll all run out or whatever. And then nobody will give her 24-hour protection. I'm pretty sure when she walks alone without protection, she's not going to do all this drama. Because some crazy guy can kill her. So it's very easy to be brave when you have all this protection and all that. But for normal people, like I've told you before, normal people like us, nobody's there to protect us. I think that is one of the reasons why people hide behind fake accounts. But then the people also misuse this freedom. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.